Hey guys, I'm Mitch with Super Platinum Achievement, and I've got a different type of video here for you today. Now remember, if you like anything related to video games, make sure to give us a big like, hit that subscribe button, check out all our other content, and follow us on our social media pages at Super Platinum Achievement. Now today I'm trying something that I've never done before. My nephew gave me this Game Boy Color, and it works, but as you can see, there's no back, and it's a little bit in rough shape. And he gave it to me and said, maybe you can use this for your channel and get it working or something. Now, like I said, it already works, so that wasn't the problem, but you know, I kind of sat on it for a while and was like, I can't really do anything with this because you can't do gameplays on it really well. And I'm like, there's nothing to repair, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna mod it and, you know, make it look cooler and maybe put a backlit LED screen in here. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I've never done anything like this before, but we're gonna try it out. I got the new screen here, backlit LED screen. And then I got a brand new body for the Game Boy, a wood grain look here. I'm pretty excited to see how this is gonna look. And then I got all my tools. I have done some other things before with repairing consoles and cleaning them out. So I do have tools already for the Nintendo special Starhead screw. So we're gonna try this out and see how it goes. I'm gonna give you a good top-down view here. So the first thing to do would be take these screws out. Now Nintendo uses their proprietary star screws, and I did have that tool. So there were a total of 6 screws here on the back, 2 in plain sight, and then 2 behind the batteries. So once I got those out, you're able to take the back off, and there is the board itself. Now I always want to make sure that I don't lose my screws, and I try and put them in the similar pattern that they were put in the actual device. So then next one, there were 3 screws holding the board in, so I just took those out, so I was able to take the board off. And then there's the ribbon here, which is what attached the old screen. So I was able to disconnect that ribbon after I figured out there were these little clips that were holding it in place. There's several different types of clips that ribbons use, and you'll see another one here on a different part. But these were 2 clips on the side, so once I used the tweezers to release those, the ribbon came out pretty easily. So I set the board aside, and then I went to take out the old screen just to see what it was like, and it's definitely different than the new one. The new one, you can see, is a little bit smaller, and it doesn't have the big old casing around it. And now I'm going to put the new screen in the new casing, and I had a lot of issues with this because it didn't have that the casing itself around the screen that fit just perfectly into there. It slid around a little bit. There's probably a better way to do it, but I didn't find a better way. After I figured things out, though, I also couldn't figure out what that thing was for right away. I kept trying to use it to hold the screen in place. But the new LED screen came with a different board, and you had to connect those together. So once I started figuring that out, it made a little bit more sense. So this is the different type of ribbon clip you'll see here. So that one, instead of the little pins on each side, this is just the little flap. So you slide that in there and then put the flap down, and it holds it in place. So I was able to get that in there, and then you fold it on top of it like that, and the screen goes in there. But like I said, the screen didn't want to stay in place, and that took some figuring out. I was able to rig it to stay in place. I don't know if that was the correct way to do it, but you'll see here in a second how I was able to make it work. So I went ahead and put the new glass on for the new casing for the Game Boy itself, and that just stuck right on there. Looked great, looked original. No issues with that. And then once I got the glass on, I attempted again to put the screen in place, connected all the ribbons to each other, and
connected it to the main board. So I had everything laid out there the way it should be. And now it was just time to figure out how to get it to stay in one place. Once again, I tried that little metal plate, didn't know what that was for yet. Like I said, I did figure it out. It's for the back of where the game card itself actually slides in. But yeah, once I got it centered up, I discovered these little sticky pads. But I kind of got frustrated, so I went a different direction here. Took a break, took the buttons out, and put all the new buttons in place here. Now you can see all the new buttons. They're nothing special, but they just popped right in there. And then I went to put the board on to see if the board being there would hold the screen in place, but it was still sliding around once I put it in there. So you'll see that I tried to attach the screws and everything, and once again put screws in the wrong location because I didn't pay attention to where I took all the screws out of the previous one. I didn't lock it into memory. So I was here now, just wanted to put it together enough to be able to test the screen to make sure that I wasn't going to go through all this hard work and then it not work at all. So I'm just trying to get everything in place so I can pop it in there, get the batteries in, and test the screen out. So you see I had the batteries right here, so I'm going to pop these in here. And we're going to test the screen for the first time. And look at that, it works, it looks glorious, nice and backlit. No more relying on accessories to see the screen or street lights in the car. So once I got that done, I took it apart so I could fully put it back together. This is where I figured out where that metal plate went finally. Got that put in just to get it out of the way. And yeah, so that's when I was trying to figure out once again how to keep that screen in place, because I noticed it was sliding around. And here's where I discovered that pad with the sticky double-sided stick on it to hold it in place. So I ran and got another tool, a pair of scissors, and I used those to cut up that little pad. So I took it all apart again, got the screen exactly where I wanted it. Once I did, I cut these little pads to fill the gaps on each side so the screen would no longer slide around. So I cut this pad here, just took off one side of the stick so it would stick to the body. I didn't need it to stick to anything else. Put all those in place so it wouldn't slide around, wedged them in there good so we wouldn't have that issue anymore. And then, yeah, and that worked out really well. Like I said, I don't know if that's the way it was intended, but it worked perfectly. The screen didn't move at all after that. So I started getting everything connected again, connected the ribbons to the main board again, and started putting it back together, putting all my screws in place. And I remember where they all went this time. And I went ahead and stuck with the original Nintendo proprietary screws. I thought that would be cool instead of using the ones that came with the body. Just because, you know, stick with original if I could. They worked fine. So here's the final test. Tested it out. Looks great. Went ahead and tried to play a game on here. Played Gex for Game Boy Color. And it worked fine. But then I noticed something bad.
Well, it is put together, and we've got some good news and some bad news. So, good news is, turns on, functions, looks great. I had a little bit of issues trying to figure out how the screen went together with all those different parts. Apparently the new LCD screen does require some a different a board put on there that I saw, so I had to figure out how to put that together, and then it didn't have that complete case like the other one did, so I had to figure out how to make that work and put all that together and make it fit and line it up. And that's where I figured out how to use those little sticky pads and line everything up the correct way. So the bad news is, as you can tell, what's missing here. Volume's all the way up when I turn it on. The Game Boy sound isn't there. So I'm guessing our speaker is blown. And I need to replace that. So I went ahead and ordered the part, and I don't have a soldering iron, so I ordered a soldering iron as well, because I'm all in on this now. I'm gonna fix this. So we're gonna go right back to the top view as soon as I get the stuff I need, and we'll continue working on it. It will be no time passed to you, but it'll be a couple days for me to get the stuff I need. So here we go.
So now we're taking it apart again. I ordered the replacement speakers. They came in a pack of 2. They're a little bit smaller, a little bit more modern. And then I've got my soldering iron kit that I purchased, and I've never soldered anything before. So once again, first thing, take off those 6 screws in the back and pop the back off of my newly assembled Game Boy here, so that I could get to the speaker. Now the speaker's in the bottom left there. You do have to take the board out because it is holding it in. Once I got that out, I've got my wire cutters / wire strippers. They've also got pliers at the top there, so you can just pull the wires out. I was able to strip the wire to expose enough to be able to get a good connection again. Grabbed one of the new speakers, and then started to solder the wires back on there. And it's a learning curve, soldering. I'm not the best at it. Sorry, my head got in the way there a little bit, but once I figured it out, it got a little bit easier. I was able to connect them just fine. Went ahead and popped the speaker back in its place where it goes. Fits perfectly. Didn't want to wiggle around or anything, so no worries there. And then I was able to go ahead and start putting it all back together. So I put the screws back in place. I put a screw in a wrong place again, but here I just want to make sure it worked. And it did. The speaker worked. You can hear that wonderful Game Boy startup sound, and I was happy. So I went ahead and took it all apart again, make sure I had the screws in the rightful place. As you can see here, I'm struggling, and I'm like, oh wait, I put the screw in the wrong spot. I gotta take it all apart just to put the screw in the correct spot. And once I did that, I put it all back together, and that was it. Working, completely finished Game Boy.
Alright guys, there you have it. We have a complete modded Game Boy Color. Now, that was my first time soldering anything. I think I did pretty good. It's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but yeah. So yeah, we got the before look and the after. It's pretty sweet, and the wonderful thing that I just fixed with the new speaker. How about that? It works. And it sounds great. Looks great. Pretty cool. We got Gex here. So, for my first full mod, that was some fun. I enjoyed it. Learned some things. As you can see, I messed up a couple times. I put a screw in the wrong place. But hey, that's part of the whole experience. And I'm definitely going to keep doing it and keep enjoying myself. So remember, if you like these kinds of videos, anything video game related, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Check out our social media pages and all our other content we have on our channel. And make sure to always stop by with Super Platinum Achievement.